chosen one. Something inside you already knows. October 30 will not be ordinary. There is a pulse in the air, a trembling beneath the surface of your spirit. It feels as though time itself slows for a moment, waiting for heaven's instruction to reach you. This is not coincidence. This is a summons. You have felt it for days now, the restlessness, the subtle unease, the inner nudge that whispers, "Stay home this time. Don't make plans. Wait." You might not understand it fully, but heaven is calling you into a sacred pause. It will not be a night of loneliness, but of alignment. The kind of night when the veil between heaven and earth feels thin enough for your soul to breathe in revelation. You are not being excluded from the world. You are being invited into the inner room where heaven speaks in secret. There was once a man named Daniel who understood this rhythm. When the world grew noisy and kings issued decrees, he did not argue. He closed his door, knelt by his window, and prayed. His isolation became his elevation. His private obedience unlocked public favor. That is the mystery of October 30. Heaven is about to favor those who obey in silence. Imagine your home that night, the light dim, the hum of the world fading beyond your walls. The only sound, the rhythm of your breathing, steady and intentional. You are not hiding, you are waiting, like a seed buried beneath the soil, unseen yet destined to bloom. You are preparing for the sound of rain that only the faithful will hear. Some will scroll endlessly that night, chasing noise to fill the void. But you will choose quiet, because you have learned that God does not compete with chaos. He speaks in calm. The louder the world grows, the more softly heaven whispers. In your silence, you will begin to remember who you are. The armor you wore to survive will fall off piece by piece. The mask you put on to blend in will no longer fit. You will feel the weight of destiny pressing on your chest, not as a burden, but as breath. It will remind you, you were never ordinary. You were chosen for distinction. Let me tell you the story of one such soul, a young man named Elio. He used to crave attention, afraid that being unseen meant being unloved. But one year, he felt a call to step away on the very night everyone else was celebrating. Alone in his small room, he opened his heart for the first time in months, and as he sat in silence, he felt a warmth surround him, not fire, not fear, just peace. In that peace came understanding. The reason heaven hides you is not to punish you, but to prepare you. From that night on, Elior no longer chased crowds, he carried presence. You see, there is something sacred about the solitude God orders. It is not loneliness, it is refinement. Like gold in the furnace, you are being purified in private so you can shine in public. You must stay home because heaven has reserved that moment to adjust your crown, heal your heart, and restore your sight. And when doubt creeps in, when you wonder if you're missing out, remember this truth. Obedience is never wasted. Every quiet yes you give, heaven becomes thunder in the spirit realm. It was declared in the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 7. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. He knows those who trust in him. That is your promise for October 30. The Lord knows you. He recognizes your trust. Even when it looks like isolation, the walls of your home are not barriers, they are altars. So prepare that night, intentionally. Clean your space. Set aside your distractions. Maybe write a letter to God, telling him everything you've been carrying. Then sit. Listen. You might not hear words, but you will feel movement subtle, sacred, unmistakable. When morning comes, the world will look the same, but you won't. You will carry a stillness that no chaos can touch. You will step into November not with noise, but with knowing. If this message stirs something in you, if you feel heaven confirming it in your spirit, pause right now. Like, share, and subscribe so that this message can reach others like you. And when you comment below, type 313, a prophetic act that says, I will stay home, I will listen, I will trust. This is your appointment with heaven. Chosen one. Don't miss it. The night is coming, and heaven is waiting to meet you there. You wake up before dawn, and something feels different. The air carries a strange quiet, like creation itself is waiting for a command. October 30 is still a few days away, yet your spirit already knows it's approaching. This isn't anxiety, it's anticipation. You are being prepared for an encounter, a private appointment that heaven set long before you were born. You see, dates on earth are coordinates in heaven. When God marks a time, he also marks the people who will hear his signal. You are one of them. This is why you can sense shifts before they happen. Why certain hours feel heavier or holier. The world calls it coincidence, but the chosen understand its divine scheduling. October 30 is not just another square on a calendar, it's a key. On that night, the unseen will align the whisper of angels, the quiet breath of destiny, the unseen turning of gears in the spirit. Heaven will look for the heart still enough to receive instruction. There's a reason your soul has been craving stillness. Heaven's messages don't arrive through chaos, they descend into silence. And to hear what's meant for you, you must be separated not from people, but from the noise they carry. Every chosen one must, at some point, learn the art of sacred solitude. You might recall how Samuel, as a boy, lay near the ark when he first heard God's voice. He didn't understand at first. It took silence, repetition, and recognition. That's what heaven will do with you. The voice won't shout. It will call your name softly until your spirit finally replies, "Speak, Lord, I am listening." And many who are called never make it to the whisper. They get lost in the static of the world plans, pressure, opinions. But you, the one reading this now, are not being overlooked. Heaven chose you because your soul still remembers how to pause. That pause is where transformation begins. Think of a potter shaping clay. Before the masterpiece is formed, the clay must first be still on the wheel. Any resistance distorts the design. That's why heaven slows you down. You are not stuck, you are being shaped. October 30 will be the turning point where the hands of the divine make their next move on your life's wheel. You might not see it coming. There won't be thunder or flashes of light. Just a deep awareness that something unseen is rearranging everything. And you'll realize this isn't about missing a party, uplift, or a night out. It's about attending a meeting that only your spirit was invited to. During this appointed time, heaven will remind you of promises you thought had expired. Prayers whispered years ago will echo back, charged with new life. You'll understand why certain doors had to close, why certain people had to leave. Every delay, every silence, every season of confusion, it all led to this moment of recognition. But you must approach it with reverence. Don't demand revelation. Invite presence. Don't seek answers, seek alignment. Because what God reveals in stillness is not for curiosity, it's for destiny. And when it comes, it will feel like a soft wind brushing across your heart. Words will not form on your tongue, but meaning will form in your spirit. You will know something has changed, even if nothing looks different. That's how heaven moves invisibly. Then inevitably, let this truth anchor you. Heaven is never late. You are not behind. Every delay has been divine pacing. Every detour has been divine redirection. You have been right on schedule for this appointment. The voice of the Lord spoke through the prophet Hosea. Chapter 2, verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak tenderly to her. This is the essence of your calling into solitude. God draws you away from the noise, not to punish you, but to whisper tenderly, to rebuild the trust, to remind you that even wilderness can become holy when He is there. When that night comes, you won't need to do anything extraordinary. Simply be home. Simply be still. The presence will find you. Heaven does not need noise to enter it, only needs invitation. Remember, the most sacred encounters happen in hidden places. And on October 30, your hiddenness will be holy ground. In the silence of that night, heaven will rewrite your story, not with thunder, but with tenderness. Every unanswered prayer will find its reason. Every wound will begin to glow with purpose. When morning breaks, you will not be the same. Your heart will carry new language. Your spirit, new fire. Hidden obedience will have unlocked visible favor. The days are counting down, and the world grows louder. Messages, meetings, endless movement. Everything demands your attention. Yet beneath that noise, there is a tug in your chest, almost like the slow tightening of a divine thread pulling you inward. You know something is coming. You can feel the edge of it brushing your spirit like wind before a storm. But this storm isn't meant to destroy you, it's meant to cleanse you. Heaven often brings the chosen ones to still waters by first letting the winds rise. It's not chaos, it's calling. You remember the feeling of missing your moment before, when you hesitated, when you let fear talk you out of obedience. But not this time. This time you will recognize the sound of destiny calling your name through the noise. Because on October 30, obedience will separate the watchers from the receivers. In this hour, the spiritual atmosphere will test your discernment. There will be distractions wearing the mask of opportunity, conversations disguised as comfort, people who seem harmless but drain your focus. Heaven is not warning you out of fear, but out of preparation. Every chosen one must discern when to speak, when to move, and when to withdraw. This night is about withdrawal. Let me tell you a story. There was a young woman named Lyra who always filled her days with motion friends, calls, endless plans. But one year, a whisper pressed on her heart, "Stay home tonight." She ignored it. That evening, everything that could go wrong did. Her peace fractured. Months later, when she finally obeyed that same nudge, she encountered a stillness so deep that she wept not from sadness, but recognition. She realized that God had been trying to meet her, but she kept meeting everything else. That's what this night represents, a meeting you cannot afford to miss. Heaven will not force you, it will invite you. You will have a choice to scroll through noise or to sit in silence. And when you choose silence, heaven will respond. The Spirit doesn't arrive through fanfare but through awareness. The moment your heart says, "I'm ready," the room shifts. You'll feel it like invisible light wrapping around you. A warmth, a softness, a sense that time has paused and eternity has stepped in. This is how divine presence enters, not to overwhelm, but to reveal. You are about to see your life from heaven's perspective. All the pain that seemed random will start to align into purpose. The tears that once felt wasted will form the water for new growth. Heaven wastes nothing that was endured in faith. But here's the truth. You can't carry revelation and noise together. Revelation requires room. That's why this call to solitude is not punishment, it's positioning. Heaven is clearing the clutter around you so that the message can finally land. The scriptures record in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. That is what this night is about, trusting the unseen more than the visible, letting heaven direct the next turn of your path. So when October 30 arrives, remember, staying home is not isolation, it's initiation. You are not hiding, you are hearing. Every chosen one goes through this gate of silence before they rise into purpose. It is sacred, and it is necessary. And when you feel that first hint of peace descending, don't rush it. Let it expand. Let the stillness do its work. There is power in quiet that noise can never imitate. Now, take a moment and breathe. If your spirit feels this message echoing inside you, I invite you to type "I'm listening" in the comments. Not as routine, but as recognition. Because when you put those words into the world, you're agreeing with heaven's whisper. You're saying, "I will not miss my moment again." And your comment becomes a declaration that your spirit is awake, your heart is aligned, and your ears are open. Heaven notices. Agreement. Every small act of faith, yes. Even a comment creates movement in the unseen. So when that night comes, don't wait for signs in the sky. The sign will be inside you. The calm will be your confirmation. October 30 is not the end of waiting, it's the beginning of understanding. When you type "I'm listening," you're not just leaving a comment, you're opening a covenant. Those two words tell heaven that you are ready to receive instruction, to walk by faith, not sight. It's a small act in the natural, but it moves mountains in the spirit. As the final days before October 30 approach, you may notice the world becoming restless. People rush, plans multiply, voices rise. But within you, something quieter begins to take shape, a peace that doesn't quite fit the pace of everything around you. You may not have asked for it, but heaven is slowing your steps on purpose. This is what happens before divine unveiling. The spiritual realm begins to stir, and even your body feels it, the fatigue, the sudden need to withdraw, the hunger for silence. You might think something is wrong, but in truth, something is awakening. The unseen realm is never still. When heaven moves, darkness reacts. That is why, before revelation, confusion tries to visit. Before breakthrough, weariness comes. You may feel like you're being pulled between worlds, the noise of the earth and the quiet of heaven. But don't resist the stillness. It is your shield. On the surface, October 30 might appear like any other night. The streets will hum with ordinary life. But in the unseen, angels and adversaries will be at work. Light and darkness will contend, not for the world, but for awareness. The battle is not around you, it's for your focus. Whoever holds your attention in that hour holds your direction. This is why you are being called to stay home, not to escape the world, but to be positioned above it. The home becomes your sanctuary, your upper room. Just as the disciples waited in one place for the promise of the Spirit, so must you wait for the whisper of instruction that will follow this night. There's an ancient rhythm that heaven follows: reveal, conceal, and then release. Before God reveals purpose, He conceals you. And when you've learned to find peace in that concealment, He releases you into new authority. October 30 is part of that rhythm. It's not an interruption, it's an initiation. In the unseen, heaven is arranging what your eyes can't yet perceive. It's as if angels are setting a table before you, each plate representing something that once felt lost: clarity, confidence, vision. But before you sit, you must first be silent. The meal of revelation can only be served to those who have quieted their hunger for noise. Think of it like standing in a darkened theater before the curtain lifts. The silence before the music begins feels almost too heavy. But that stillness is what makes the unveiling powerful. The hush before the move is proof that something is about to begin. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to prepare you. For the chosen, awareness always comes before encounter. You are being trained to sense heaven's movement, even when the world sees nothing at all. A man named Josiah once felt something similar. He was a king, but more importantly, a seeker. While others were satisfied with routine, he sensed that the temple had lost its purity. So, he ordered it to be cleaned. In the silence of that restoration, a forgotten scroll was found, the Word of God itself. That discovery changed a nation, but it began with stillness, with a decision to make room for what heaven had hidden. That's what October 30 will be for you: a rediscovery, not of something new, but of something ancient inside you that has been waiting to be remembered. You won't find it in noise, you'll find it in nearness. You may not see it, but heaven is closer than ever. The angels assigned to your life have been repositioned. They are waiting, not for your strength, but for your surrender. The night is not meant to test you, it's meant to refine your awareness until you can hear the gentle echo that says, "Be still, for I am here." And you will know it, not with your ears, but with your being. The atmosphere of your room will shift. The air will feel alive, like it's carrying something sacred. That's the moment you'll understand. This wasn't about staying home, it was about being home in Him. We are reminded through the writings of David in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10, "Be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." That is the heartbeat of October 30. To be still, to know, to let heaven be exalted in the silence of your surrender. When that night arrives, don't rush to fill the quiet. Sit, listen, let the presence unfold like dawn breaking over still waters. You will not need to do anything spectacular, just remain. The light will find you where obedience placed you. In the stillness, your name will echo through eternity, and heaven will answer with peace. The hour is drawing nearer. You can feel the hum beneath the surface of your spirit, a kind of holy electricity that tells you something sacred is about to unfold. Heaven is not silent, it is gathering, preparing, aligning. Everything that once felt scattered in your life is slowly being drawn into divine order. That's what October 30 represents, a moment when obedience meets timing. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do for heaven's plan is to simply show up with a willing heart. As you remain in that space of stillness, something beautiful begins to awaken. You start to realize that every quiet night, every hidden season, was never wasted. It was all leading to now. You begin to understand that your waiting has been a seed, and the soil of obedience is finally cracking open. It's like watching a flower bloom in the dark. No one sees it, but heaven does. It doesn't need applause to grow, it only needs light and faith. That is you, chosen one. You are growing, even when it seems nothing is happening. And as you prepare your home and heart for that sacred night, you'll start to sense that what's being built here is bigger than just a single moment. It's a movement, a gathering of those who listen, who stay, who believe that small acts of faith can move eternity. There's something powerful about being part of a message that doesn't just pass through screens, but passes through hearts. Every time you listen, every time you share, every time you help this message reach one more wandering soul, you become a part of heaven's echo on earth. I want to tell you something true and gentle. Messages like these travel through the unseen first. They reach the hearts they are meant to reach, carried by obedience and sustained by kindness. If these words have stirred something deep in you, if they have reminded you that you are not alone, that heaven still sees you, then consider this moment your opportunity to pour back into what has poured into you, not out of duty, but out of resonance, because giving, when it comes from alignment, is not loss, it's multiplication. Think of it like a small flame passed from one candle to another. The first flame does not diminish. The room simply becomes brighter. When you give, whether through sharing, subscribing, or supporting this message, you're not fueling a project. You're extending the light. You're helping more hearts find warmth in a cold season. No one is required to give. This is not a transaction. This is a table of choice. And your offering, no matter how small, is like placing a single drop into a river that never runs dry. It continues flowing, reaching, touching lives that may never meet you, but will be changed because you decided to keep the light burning. As the apostle wrote to the Corinthians in his second letter, chapter 9, verse 7, each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. Oh, that is the spirit behind this moment. You are not being asked, you are being invited to partner with heaven's flow. Every act of generosity, every small click, every shared word becomes part of the message that says, light still wins. End quote. Click the light forward like this message. Share it. And subscribe. Each simple gesture is like striking a match in a dark field, small, yet powerful when joined with others. And if your heart feels led, give as rivers. Give to the ocean quietly, freely, knowing the water always returns. Your donation becomes part of the current, that carries light farther, into places your voice may never reach. Because this isn't about supporting me, it's about sustaining the message that keeps finding you when you need it most. Like a lighthouse funded by unseen hands, it stays lit through storms because hearts like yours choose to keep its flame alive. When you like, share, subscribe, or give, you're saying, let this light travel further. Heaven notices. Generosity of spirit, of time, of faith always echoes back in ways no one can predict. So as you prepare for the sacred stillness of October 30, remember, generosity is not giving away what you have. It's making room for what's coming. When heaven sees your open hands, it knows your heart is ready. The night is coming soon. Keep your spirit open, your light steady, and your heart generous. What you pour out will always return, multiplied and refined. And when that night finally arrives, let your heart whisper yes to the unseen. Every breath will shimmer with purpose. Every silence will hum with heaven's nearness. As the calendar inches closer to October 30, you begin to notice something subtle, an invisible separation between the noise of the world and the calm of your spirit. It's like watching mist lift from a valley after rain. The closer you get to the appointed night, the more you can sense heaven preparing you to see. Not with your eyes, but with understanding. You may have already started feeling it in small ways. Unexpected quiet moments, old memories resurfacing, sudden clarity about people and paths that no longer fit your journey. This is how heaven speaks before the revelation. It rearranges your awareness before it unveils your direction. In these days, signs may appear around you, gentle but unmistakable. You might overhear a phrase that feels like it was meant for you. You might wake from a dream with peace instead of confusion. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that heaven's timing is near. Heaven is not random, it is rhythmic. And right now, your spirit is learning to move with its rhythm. Every message that has reached you so far, every whisper of conviction, every stirring of your heart, they are all pieces of the same divine conversation leading to October 30. It's easy to think that confirmation means something dramatic, a vision, a voice, un inexplicable sign. But heaven often confirms through alignment. When your heart and heaven's plan finally beat in the same tempo, that alignment will come when you are alone. In the stillness of your room, when distractions fade and the air feels thick with meaning, you may ask, why does heaven need me home on that specific night? Because revelation requires still ground. You cannot plant divine instruction in soil that keeps moving. Silence is the soil. Obedience is the seed. October 30 is the rain. The signs will not only appear around you, they will rise within you. Your spirit will begin to anticipate peace. You'll notice how you no longer crave the validation of people who don't understand your calling. You'll find yourself letting go of habits, words, and worries that once defined you. It's not loss, it's clearing. Heaven is making room. Think of Gideon, who asked for confirmation not once, but twice. He wanted to be sure. He wanted heaven to prove it was truly speaking. But heaven didn't get angry. It met him in patience. It soaked the fleece one night, and the ground the next, just to show him, yes, it's me. I am with you. That is how heaven speaks to the chosen, through patience, through proof, through peace. And as these days pass, the confirmations will grow stronger. You will sense that this isn't just a call to stay home, it's a call to come home. To return to that quiet place inside you where faith first lived before the world made you doubt. Your heart will feel like a compass finally pointing north. You won't have to force anything. The alignment will be natural, peaceful. Sure, you'll realize that heaven never rushed you. It was waiting for you to stop running. It was written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 15, "In returning and rest you shall be saved. In quietness and trust shall be your strength." That is the essence of this message. Strength is found in surrender. The power you seek won't come from striving, but from stillness. So, as you prepare for October 30, keep your spirit open to confirmation. You might see repeating symbols, hear the same verse twice, or feel the same emotion resurface at the right moment. Don't dismiss it. Heaven repeats what it wants you to remember. When those signs come, write them down. They're not random, they're divine fingerprints. Each one is a gentle assurance that heaven is near, that you are seen, and that you're exactly where you're meant to be. And when you recognize them, pause and whisper, "I hear you," because that whisper becomes agreement, and agreement becomes alignment. Now, I want you to mark this understanding in the natural as you have in the spirit. Comment the number 818 below, a prophetic sign of awakening and new beginnings. It's not superstition, it's symbolism. When you type it, you're declaring that your eyes are open, your heart is ready, and your spirit is aligned with heaven's rhythm. That number is more than digits. It's a message. It says, "I will not rush. I will listen. I will recognize the signs meant for me." Every comment becomes a light in the digital night. A gathering of souls who have chosen awareness over noise. Remember, heaven doesn't need your perfection. It desires your attention. The ones who notice are the ones who receive. So watch closely. The days before October 30 will not pass like any other. You will walk through them, awake, aware, and unafraid. For when heaven prepares to speak, even the air learns to listen. The night grows closer, and the air itself begins to feel aware, almost as if it carries memory. You can sense it in the rhythm of your breathing, the stillness between heartbeats. Heaven is preparing you for something sacred, something that only silence can reveal. When you look in the mirror these days, you may feel unfamiliar to yourself. The same eyes, the same face. But there's something deeper, stirring behind them. This is the mirror test. When heaven allows you to see not who you've been, but who you're becoming. The reflection is not only physical, it's spiritual. You stand before that mirror, and suddenly you feel the weight of every season you've survived, betrayals that hardened you, losses that shaped you, quiet victories no one ever saw. For a moment, all of it converges, and you realize something profound. You are still here, not just breathing, but transforming. This is the moment when heaven watches closely, not to judge, but to witness your awakening, because what happens on October 30 is not merely an instruction, it's a revelation of identity. To obey that call to solitude is to say, "I remember who I am." Then, when God calls you into stillness, He is not trying to isolate you, He is trying to reintroduce you to yourself. The version of you that carries faith instead of fear, peace instead of panic, clarity instead of confusion. Every chosen one must pass through this sacred mirror, the place where the noise fades and truth stands naked. You can no longer hide behind accomplishments or failures. In that quiet reflection, heaven asks you one question: who have you become? This test is not punishment, it's preparation. Just as gold must face the fire before it shines, your reflection must face the truth before it rains. And truth always begins in stillness. There is an ancient story that mirrors this moment. Jacob, before meeting his destiny, spent one long night alone. The camp was behind him, the future ahead. He wrestled not with a man, but with heaven's messenger. And in that struggle, his name changed. His identity shifted from Jacob, the deceiver, to Israel, the one who wrestles with God and prevails. That encounter didn't happen in a crowd. It happened in solitude. The mirror moment is your own Peniel. You're face to face with heaven. You may find emotions rising during this time, tears without reason, sudden memories, an ache you can't explain. Don't resist them. The soul releases what the spirit is ready to heal. Every tear that falls in that private place becomes water that washes your sight clear. The reflection may reveal things you've avoided: pain, mistakes, unfinished forgiveness. But even that is grace. Heaven reveals wounds not to shame you, but to clean them. Because a pure reflection cannot come from a clouded heart. As you face yourself honestly, something holy happens. The reflection begins to soften. You start to see traces of the divine image again, the compassion you thought was gone, the courage you thought had died. It was never lost. It was only hidden beneath survival. This night will not be about judgment. But renewal, like a painter restoring an old masterpiece. Heaven is gently wiping away the dust that time has left on your soul. Each quiet breath, each whispered prayer becomes a stroke of light across the canvas of your being. According to what is revealed in the book of James, chapter 1, verses 23 and 24, anyone who listens to the word but does not do what it says is like someone who looks at his face in a mirror and, after looking at himself, goes away and immediately forgets what he looks like. Now, this scripture holds the heart of the mirror test. To look and not forget, to recognize the divine within and carry it forward. That is what October 30 is preparing you for. You won't need an audience for this transformation. No one else can witness what heaven will show you. It's not a night for proving, it's a night for remembering. When you stand before that mirror, let the stillness surround you. Don't rush the moment. Let every breath remind you that you are not here by accident. You are standing in the exact place heaven needs you to be home. Still, listening. And when you finally meet your own gaze and see peace looking back at you, know that heaven smiles too. Because the test is never about perfection, it's about awareness. That reflection will no longer be a stranger. It will be the first glimpse of who you were always meant to become. And when the moment passes, linger for a while. Let silence hold you like morning light after a long storm. You'll realize the mirror wasn't showing your face, it was revealing your faith. The night will arrive like a slow breath, quiet and deliberate. October 30 is not far now, and heaven has begun to press its finger upon the rhythm of time. Everything around you may look the same: cars passing, clocks ticking, life continuing, but in the unseen, eternity is leaning closer. You will feel it in the air, in the spaces between sounds. The world will seem hushed, as if waiting for something holy to unfold. This is the weight of silence. not the silence of emptiness, but the silence that carries meaning. Heaven often speaks most clearly when everything else grows still. It is in the absence of noise that the voice of God begins to echo in ways words could never contain. Many fear silence because it reveals what distraction hides. But for the chosen, silence is a sanctuary. It is the place where all the scattered fragments of your thoughts come together like stars forming a constellation, chaotic up close, yet perfectly ordered from heaven's view. When you sit in that quiet space on October 30, don't chase words. Don't try to force revelation. Simply breathe. The stillness itself is the message. Heaven doesn't always speak in sentences. Sometimes it speaks in peace. In that silence, your heart will begin to remember what safety feels like. You will feel the presence of the one who has never left, even when you thought he had. It will not come as thunder or bright light. It will come as a soft weight on your chest, a still knowing that says, "You are not alone." Long before you ever heard this message, heaven planned to meet you there. Every delay, every disappointment, every detour was simply the path guiding you toward that quiet encounter. The silence will not be empty. It will be full of what words could never carry. There was a prophet once, Elijah, who sought God in fire, wind, and earthquake. But God did not speak through the noise. He spoke through the still, small voice that followed. That whisper changed everything. It realigned Elijah's mission, restored his courage, and reminded him that purpose is not always loud. That is what heaven desires to do for you on that night, to restore what exhaustion took from you, to fill the gaps left by battles you fought alone, to whisper new assignments into the still corners of your heart where hope has been sleeping. You will not have to strive for it. The presence of God will arrive like light, filling a room at dawn quietly, naturally, completely. The only requirement will be awareness. Think of silence as a bridge between heaven and earth. Every breath you take becomes a step across that bridge, moving you closer to divine clarity. In this stillness, the noise of fear loses its power. Doubt loses its grip. The heart, long weighed down by confusion, finally exhales. In that hour, you may feel memories surfacing, moments when you almost gave up. Times when the world's volume drowned out your faith. But as they rise, peace will follow. Heaven never reopens wounds to wound again. It opens them to heal. The silence will act as gentle hands, placing balm on every unseen bruise. Do not underestimate this night. Stillness is not weakness. Silence is not surrender. It is strategy. Even the sea must go quiet before the tide shifts. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 20. But the Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him. That verse holds the essence of your October 30. Heaven takes its throne in silence. When the world hushes, heaven rules. You may find yourself listening so deeply that you begin to hear things differently, the hum of your own heartbeat, the faint sound of wind outside, even the creak of your home settling. Don't dismiss them. In that stillness, even the ordinary becomes sacred. Every sound becomes a hymn when the heart is tuned to heaven. If tears come, let them. If laughter comes, welcome it. Silence is not a void, it's an embrace. It receives every emotion without judgment and returns peace in its place. And when you rise from that quiet, you'll notice something has shifted. Not dramatically, But definitely, the air will feel lighter, your thoughts clearer, your heart steadier. You'll realize that nothing external changed, only your awareness did. And that awareness changes everything. For once, the silence will not feel like absence. It will feel like home. And in that home, heaven will whisper, "This is where I've been waiting for you all along." And the silence of October 30 will not stay empty for long. In the deep, quiet, presence will begin to fill the room. You might not see with your eyes, but your spirit will know something holy has entered. The air may feel heavier, like it's carrying meaning. And suddenly, every small sound seems alive. This is the moment heaven moves close enough for even your breath to feel sacred. You are not imagining it. On nights like these, the veil between realms grows thin. What is invisible on ordinary days becomes tangible to those who are awake in spirit. Heaven will draw near, but so will tests. Because wherever light manifests, darkness trembles. And trembling always brings movement. That night, you may sense a shift. The air might cool suddenly, or your thoughts might grow sharper. Don't be afraid. You are not in danger. You are being observed. Angels take their posts, watching over you, while the shadows test for weakness. But what darkness doesn't understand is that your obedience has already built a wall it cannot cross. You have become a light that terrifies what once intimidated you. Every chosen one carries this moment, the night when light must prove itself, not through argument or struggle, but through endurance. You will win this battle by standing still. It might feel subtle, a flicker of doubt, a sudden distraction, a whisper that says, "This is pointless." That's how the unseen tries to pull your focus. But your stillness will be your defiance. Your calm will be your weapon. When the atmosphere stirs, don't fight it. Command peace into it. Because authority is not noise, it's knowing. Remember Daniel in the lion's den. He didn't shout. He didn't plead. He simply stood firm in quiet faith. And the lions forgot how to roar. That's the power you carry. The creatures of fear lose their sound when you remember who stands beside you. You might even sense warmth on one side of the room, or the faint feeling of being watched, not with malice, but with reverence. These are angelic presences, drawn to the flame of obedience. Heaven responds to alignment. When a soul chooses surrender, light multiplies around it. This is not fantasy. This is the reality of the chosen life. Unseen witnesses attending a sacred assignment. You are not alone in that silence. The same way Elisha's servant once opened his eyes to see chariots of fire surrounding them, your spirit will sense that heaven's armies are near. The room will not just hold you, it will hold presence. And if shadows test your courage, stand unmoved. They cannot remain where peace reigns. Say nothing. Just breathe. Heaven will speak for you. In that hour, you will feel the difference between fear and reverence. Fear drains, reverence fills. Fear paralyzes, reverence awakens. That is how you will know heaven has come near, not through terror, but through stillness wrapped in awe. The unseen visitors are not meant to harm, but to reveal. Their presence exposes the thin line between worlds, the holy and the hollow. They come not to frighten, but to remind you that you were never fighting alone. As it is written in the book of Hebrews, chapter 1, verse 14, are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation. That verse is your assurance. You are not surrounded by emptiness, you are surrounded by help. Heaven's servants stand guard, waiting for your agreement with peace to activate their movement. So when you feel that holy stillness thicken the air, don't resist it. Close your eyes and whisper what your heart already knows. Peace is here. And if tears come, let them fall. They are not signs of weakness, they are responses to presence. You'll know that moment when heaven leans close enough for your soul to recognize itself. Now, when this message resonates within you, when you feel heaven confirming it in the quiet of your spirit, comment, "Light stays." End quote. Those two words are not a phrase, they are a declaration. They mean, even if darkness trembles, I will remain radiant. When you write them, you are joining a quiet army of lights across the world, souls who have chosen calm instead of fear, faith instead of retreat. You're not typing for show, you're signing your name on a promise. You are telling heaven, I will not let this flame die when the silence ends. And so, when the unseen moves around you that night, do not hide your light. Let peace be your defense. Let reverence be your strength. And remember, heaven doesn't visit the loud, it visits the ready. When dawn finally touches the horizon after October 30, something in you will have shifted. You might not be able to name it, but you'll feel it like an invisible weight has been lifted from your chest. The air will feel lighter. The world, somehow, will look clearer. Heaven's silence will have spoken, and what was hidden will now begin to unfold in your spirit. That night of solitude was not wasted. It was a covenant renewal between you and heaven. You may not have realized it, but your decision to stay, to listen, to be still, it was an offering, not of words, but of willingness, and heaven always receives willingness as worship. Something eternal happened while the world slept. Promises were rewritten. Strength was restored. The oil that was drained by long seasons of waiting began to refill quietly. Like a lamp, refilling drop by drop before the dawn. You might not have heard thunder or seen visions, but the shift inside you was real, gentle, steady, and irreversible. This is the covenant renewal, the moment heaven looks upon your obedience and says, now, I can trust you with more. Every chosen one experiences this crossroad, the moment you stop asking for blessing and start becoming one. You see, blessings are not always loud. Sometimes they arrive wrapped in peace. The same way rivers move mountains, not by force, but by persistence. Heaven changes destinies through small, steady acts of faith. When you obeyed and stayed, you did not lose a night, you gained alignment. And that alignment is worth more than anything you could have found outside those walls. Now heaven begins to open your next chapter. The stillness you carried into that night becomes strength. You will carry out of it. You will speak softer, vok viser, and love deeper. That is the mark of renewal. There's a story of a young man named Aaron. After years of praying for clarity, he finally stopped trying to make things happen on his own. He decided to spend one night alone in silence, just listening. In that quiet, something simple yet profound happened. He forgave himself, and from that moment, doors opened that had long been locked. That's how renewal works. It begins within, and everything external rearranges to match it. This covenant is not about perfection, it's about posture. Heaven doesn't demand success, it seeks surrender. The hands that are willing to open, even when empty, are the ones heaven fills first. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 21, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." That verse holds more depth than most realize. Treasure is not only gold or wealth, it's where you place your time, your focus, your energy, your heart. When you treasure the voice of heaven, you invest in eternal currency. Every moment of surrender becomes a deposit in heaven's economy. That's why when you share, when you support, when you give, it's not about transaction, it's about transformation. You are choosing to invest your treasure where your spirit has been fed. So if this message has spoken to you, if you have felt seen, healed, or realigned in any way, let your gratitude take shape. Like this message, to keep the light moving. Share it so that another soul, perhaps on the edge of giving up, might find it right in time. Subscribe so that you remain connected to every word heaven still intends for you. And if your heart feels led, give as sunrise gives light freely, without measure. Your donation is not obligation, it's partnership. It says, "This message matters, and I want it to reach those who still sit in their night." Emsters, think of it this way. When one lighthouse shines, a few ships find their way. But when hundreds shine together, the entire coastline becomes safe. Every act of generosity, no matter how small, becomes another beacon. Your giving doesn't end here. It travels. It becomes part of every message, every heart healed, every soul reminded of hope. You are not paying for light, you are keeping it alive. No one is forced. This is sacred ground, not a demand. Whether you choose to give or simply carry the message in your heart, you remain part of the same purpose, to let light continue where silence once lived. You have already given heaven what it desired most, your attention, your presence, your yes. Everything else is overflow. What you give now, your share, your like, your voice. Your gift is not payment, it's praise. Light forward what you have received. Keep the current flowing. Let heaven's echo reach one more heart through you. There comes a moment after revelation when silence lingers not as emptiness, but as echo. The noise of the world begins to return. Yet something within you has changed. You no longer hear it the same way. Every sound, every conversation feels filtered through a new layer of understanding. You are not detached, you are refined. Heaven often works like that. It gives you a moment of stillness, then sends you back into motion, not to lose peace, but to carry it. What happened on October 30 was not the end of isolation, it was the beginning of awareness. You have learned to listen differently to the rhythm of your own breath, to the hidden meanings behind interruptions, to the voice that speaks between the words. And now, the real test begins, not of obedience, but of balance. Can you remain still on the inside while the world spins around you? Can you walk through noise without letting it back into your soul? That is where the strength of the chosen truly shows. It will be subtle at first. You'll find yourself responding with calm, where once you reacted with fear. People who once drained your spirit will no longer have that power. The things that used to provoke you will now feel distant, irrelevant. Peace has taken root, and peace changes perception. In this season, heaven begins to train your vision. The stillness you found in solitude becomes the lens through which you see everything. You will begin to recognize patterns, the way divine timing works, the rhythm of endings and beginnings, the hidden beauty in delays. You'll notice that nothing truly happens to you anymore. It happens for you. You are not the same person who waited in that quiet room. There is light in your eyes that wasn't there before. A quiet authority in your spirit that no one can teach or fake. Heaven has written something new upon your countenance. And even if no one else notices, the unseen world does. This is where you start to walk in spiritual clarity. It's like standing in a forest at dawn, fog still lingering, but the outlines of trees growing clearer with each passing moment. You can finally see what was hidden, and what's more, you can discern what does not belong. Discernment is heaven's gift to the awake. It doesn't just help you see truth, it keeps you from falling for imitation. Many voices in the world will claim light, but not all carry it. You have learned, through stillness, how to recognize authenticity not by sound, but by presence. Remember how Moses came down from the mountain with his face glowing. He didn't shout about where he'd been. The glory spoke for him. The same will happen with you. People will sense it. They won't understand why your peace unsettles their chaos, but they'll feel it nonetheless. And with that awareness comes responsibility. The light in you will attract both the hungry and the jealous. Some will come to learn, others to test. But don't be shaken. The same God who met you in solitude will walk beside you in exposure. What was private will now become power. You will find that your words carry new weight. When you speak, people will pause, not because of your tone, but because of the presence that rides upon it. Heaven does not anoint noise, it anoints necessity. Every word, born of stillness, will carry an unseen echo. This is the fruit of the night you obeyed, the calm that terrifies confusion, the peace that commands storms to quiet. Heaven didn't separate you from the world to keep you hidden. It did so to send you back with clarity. You are now both messenger and mirror, reflecting what stillness revealed. The prophet Jeremiah once recorded the voice of God saying, in chapter 33, verse 3, "Call to me, and I will answer you, and show you great and unsearchable things you do not know." And that promise is now alive in you. You called. Heaven answered not with noise, but with knowing. So walk gently into this next chapter. Carry your peace. Like a lantern, don't rush to speak. Let silence go before your words as preparation. Let every step you take remind you of the covenant you renewed that night. You will begin to notice people drawn to you without explanation, strangers confiding, hearts opening. That's how heaven works, through the chosen. You become a refuge without trying, a vessel through which presence quietly flows. Do not fear the weight of this calling. You are not expected to be perfect, only present. Heaven doesn't demand brilliance, it asks for willingness. And that you've already given. So, continue walking. The silence has done its work. The whisper has become a way of life. You no longer chase signs, you have become one. There is a moment after revelation when heaven begins to test not your obedience, but your consistency. The silence you once waited for now becomes your teacher. You realize it wasn't just about one night, it was about a lifestyle. October 30 wasn't the finish line. It was the beginning of a new rhythm with heaven. As you move through these days, you'll start to sense that everything carries deeper meaning, A simple sunrise. A quiet walk. A conversation that feels divinely timed. All of it begins to feel like language. Heaven speaks through ordinary moments to those who have learned how to listen. You are one of them now. And yet, this is also the point where the enemy of clarity, distraction, tries to return. It won't come loudly. It comes in subtle ways, old habits, unnecessary urgency, noise disguised as opportunity. But your spirit, freshly awakened, will recognize the difference between what is urgent and what is eternal. You no longer chase approval, you seek alignment. You no longer fill silence with sound, you fill it with meaning. Heaven honors those who learn this rhythm. It begins to place you in moments that seem small but shift entire atmospheres. Your quiet prayer will calm storms around others. Your single act of kindness will ripple further than you know. This is what it means to live marked. There's a story of a woman named Alina who spent years believing her prayers were too small to matter. But one day, after spending a night alone with God, she woke up with a sense of peace so tangible that she couldn't contain it. That morning, she simply smiled at a stranger who looked weary. She didn't know that smile stopped a suicide attempt. Heaven had used silence to prepare her for one quiet rescue. That's what this season is about, not power, but presence. You carry an atmosphere now. Every step you take changes the air around you. Heaven walks through you. And even when you say nothing, something in the room shifts. Don't underestimate the simplicity of obedience. You're not being called to grand gestures. You're being invited to divine consistency. Sometimes the holiest thing you can do is show up with peace in your spirit and integrity in your hands. Heaven is releasing a new level of discernment and responsibility. The words you hear in stillness will begin to connect with actions in daylight. The gap between what you sense and what you do will grow smaller until your life becomes a living prophecy. You will no longer wait for signs, you will be one. That is why the days after October 30 are so important. The temptation will be to move on quickly, to treat it as a passing experience. But the chosen never treat sacred encounters as memories. They treat them as beginnings. Heaven speaks again through the writings of the Apostle Paul in the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may discern what is the will of God, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. That verse is your instruction now. The renewal has begun. But, transformation, continue, daily. Each quiet morning, each restrained word, each act of peace is another stroke of Heaven's hand, shaping your life. And as you grow into this awareness, Heaven will continue sending confirmations, sometimes through people, sometimes through moments of unexpected clarity. You might overhear a phrase that feels like it was meant just for you, or dream something that wakes you with calm rather than confusion. Don't overlook those small things. They are Heaven's way of saying, I'm still here. Now, take this moment to mark your agreement in the natural as you have in the spirit. Comment the number 414, a symbol of divine renewal and spiritual rebuilding. 414 means you have chosen transformation over stagnation. It says, I will not return to who I was before October 30. I will live awakened. When you type it, you're declaring not just understanding, but application. You're saying, I heard Heaven, and I'm still listening. No, that number becomes more than a comment. It's a covenant between your awareness and heaven's guidance. It links you with others who have walked through silence and emerged seeing more clearly. Because this is not about one moment, it's about a continual posture of surrender. Heaven is still writing through you. The voice you heard in solitude will keep echoing, shaping how you speak, love, and lead. So, when the world grows noisy again, remember the hush that healed you. Remember the night that changed everything. The silence was never empty, it was instruction. The stillness was never a pause, it was preparation. Now you walk with heaven's rhythm inside you, steady and sure. The conversation hasn't ended, it has only deepened. There is a sacred calm that follows every encounter with heaven, a quiet after the storm, a pause between breaths. It is not emptiness but fullness, a silence heavy with understanding. You are living in that stillness now. The world moves at its usual speed, yet you move differently. You are slower, more deliberate, more aware. It is as though your spirit has learned to see beyond what your eyes can reach. This is what it means to walk in faith, refined by silence. Heaven did not just quiet the noise around you, it recalibrated the sound within you. The old voices of fear, regret, and self-doubt that used to rise so easily now seem distant, powerless. You can still hear them faintly, but they no longer define you. You've been tuned to a higher frequency. When you carry peace, it becomes protection. What once drained you now passes by harmlessly. The same conversations that used to exhaust you now roll off your spirit like waves breaking against a rock. That is how heaven marks its own, not with symbols or signs, but with a serenity that nothing can steal. There will still be challenges. Of course, heaven never promised a smooth path, only a steady companion. But what has changed is your posture. You don't bow to the chaos anymore. You stand tall in storms that would have broken you before. The difference is not strength, it's awareness. You have realized that storms are not punishment, they are confirmation. Heaven only tests what it trusts. It's like the story of Job. His peace wasn't in what he had, but in who he knew. Even when everything fell apart, he refused to curse God because he understood something the world didn't. Peace anchored in heaven cannot be uprooted by earth. That is the posture you are learning to live in, not reaction, but revelation. Each challenge now feels like a teacher rather than an enemy. You no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, you ask, "What is heaven showing me through this?" That shift changes everything. This is how maturity in the spirit begins. The chosen are not marked by perfection, but by perception. You no longer measure blessings by comfort, but by clarity. Every moment becomes meaningful, even the hard ones. You begin to see divine fingerprints on delays, purpose in pain, order in what once felt like chaos. When heaven refines you, it doesn't remove the fire. It teaches you how to stand in it without burning. That's why the flames that once frightened you now illuminate your path. Every hardship has become a lamp. Every scar is a testimony. The same silence that once felt heavy now feels holy. You have learned to sit in it without fear, to let it speak without demanding words. That is spiritual growth, to trust what you cannot hear, because you've already recognized the tone of the one who speaks. Heaven speaks again through the book of Joshua. Chapter 1, verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you, wherever you go. End. That promise isn't just comfort, it's assignment. Heaven is not asking you to be fearless. It's reminding you that courage is born from awareness. When you know who walks beside you, fear becomes unnecessary. There will come days when silence feels distant again, when noise tries to creep back into your mind. But you now have the skill to return to stillness. You don't need a date or a command. You carry the mountain within you. Whenever you need to hear, you know how to quiet the world and listen. This awareness is what separates the chosen from the crowd. Most people chase voices. You have learned to wait for whispers. Most react to storms. You have learned to sleep through them. You are no longer merely surviving. You are dwelling in divine rhythm. And as you live in that rhythm, heaven will begin to use your peace as a message. You'll notice people calming in your presence, sensing something they can't name. They'll ask how you manage to stay steady. You won't have to preach. You'll just smile, because peace speaks louder than words ever could. Heaven didn't isolate you to make you lonely. It did so to make you luminous. The stillness has become your sanctuary. And now, your very presence becomes sanctuary for others. You are no longer waiting for the voice from heaven. You are walking as one who carries it. The silence that once felt like absence has become identity. You are proof that stillness can shape destiny. There is a tenderness that comes after transformation, a softness that strength alone could never create. When you have walked through silence, when you have listened long enough to recognize heaven's tone, compassion becomes instinct. You begin to see people not as interruptions, but as mirrors. Their pain no longer threatens you. It reminds you. You remember the night you sat alone and realized that heaven was still with you, even in the dark. This is the fruit of stillness, empathy without exhaustion, kindness without compromise. You can hold the pain of others now without drowning in it. You no longer try to fix everything. You simply become presence, and presence, more than answers, heals. Heaven always refines the chosen in solitude before sending them back among people, because only those who have been alone with peace can carry it into chaos. That is why your isolation was necessary. It wasn't rejection. It was preparation. The world you are re-entering is the same, but your perception is not. You no longer see through fear, you see through understanding. You no longer hear through panic, you hear through patience. Where others see endings, you sense transitions. That is discernment, born of quietness. You may notice that people respond differently to you now. Some are drawn to your calm, others are unsettled by it. Both are signs that heaven's mark rests upon you. Light always reveals. It comforts some and confronts others. But don't change to please either. Your steadiness is not for validation, it's for direction. In this new season, heaven will begin to unfold subtle assignments. They won't come as grand commands, but as gentle nudges, a word spoken at the right time, a prayer whispered for a stranger, an act of kindness no one sees. These are holy moments disguised as ordinary life, and because you've learned how to listen, you'll recognize them instantly. You will realize that heaven doesn't always move in lightning, it often moves in rhythm, the rhythm of footsteps, the rhythm of breath, the rhythm of grace, moving quietly through every day. You'll learn to flow with that rhythm, not rushing ahead or falling behind, simply walking in sync with purpose. The chosen life isn't about constant intensity, it's about constant awareness. There will be days that feel mundane, even quiet, But within those days, heaven is still at work, weaving unseen connections, aligning people, positioning opportunities. The silence trained you to trust this invisible coordination. You are no longer chasing miracles, you have become one. The way you forgive, the way you endure, the way you love without expecting return, these are miracles too. Heaven doesn't always part seas, sometimes it softens hearts. We find in the first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 16, verse 13, "Be on your guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong." And that is heaven's whisper to you now. Stand firm, not in stubbornness, but in faith. Be courageous, not in striving, but in trust. Strength is no longer the refusal to fall. It's the grace to rise gently each time you do. As you walk through the days ahead, you'll begin to feel the pull of purpose growing stronger. Not a burden, but a current, carrying you into new spaces. Heaven doesn't teach stillness so you can hide it. Teaches stillness so you can carry calm wherever chaos exists. You are being sent, not away from silence, but as its ambassador. There will be moments when you'll sense heaven speaking again. Not through thunder or dreams, but through timing. A door will open precisely when you stopped forcing it. A conversation will happen just when you needed confirmation. That is how heaven rewards patience with precision. Do not underestimate the impact of your quiet obedience. You may never see the full fruit of your faith in this life, but heaven keeps record of every unseen yes. Every moment you chose peace over panic, prayer over pride, it all counted. And if you ever wonder whether heaven still sees you, look at how far you've come. The storms you thought would destroy you became the rivers that cleansed you. The waiting you hated became the womb that birthed your wisdom. Now you stand as one who knows what silence sounds like when it speaks. You are not merely surviving, you are sanctified by stillness. Heaven is no longer an idea to you, it is rhythm, breath, heartbeat. In this quiet strength, you begin to understand that calling isn't a task, it's a way of being. To walk as the chosen is not to be louder than the world, but to remain peaceful in its noise. That peace will lead you wherever heaven desires, one steady step at a time. Every movement of heaven begins quietly and ends beautifully. What started as one night of obedience has now become a journey of awakening. You are not the same person who first heard this message. The silence that once made you uneasy now feels like home. The darkness that once frightened you now feels like the backdrop where your light shines brightest. When heaven calls someone, it never does so for them alone. The transformation that began in your private room is meant to ripple outward, touching those around you without you even trying. You are living proof that peace can be contagious. The stillness you've found becomes medicine for the world's noise. The chosen ones are not sent to perform miracles, they become them. You carry a peace that enters rooms before you speak, a calm that changes the atmosphere simply by existing. This is how heaven moves through humanity quietly, compassionately, through vessels who remember the sound of stillness. And yet, even as heaven expands your purpose, it reminds you of humility. The light within you is not ownership, it is stewardship. You don't command the light, you tend it, like a candle in cupped hands, guarding it from the wind of distraction. You nurture it through gratitude and generosity, through sharing what has blessed you, because what you have received was never meant to stay hidden. Revelation becomes complete when it is shared. Peace multiplies when it is offered. Light increases only when it is given away. There's an image heaven often uses: a single drop of water falling into a still lake. The sound is small, almost invisible. Yet the ripples travel far beyond what the eye can see. That is what happens when you pass the message forward. When you share the light that reached you, you create ripples in someone else's night. Maybe someone will hear it on a day when they are about to give up. Maybe they will feel seen for the first time. Maybe your quiet act of sharing becomes the bridge between their despair and their deliverance. That's how heaven works. It moves through the simplest gestures of love. It is written in the book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, verse 20. The God of heaven himself will give us success. Therefore we, his servants, will arise and build. That is your call now, to arise and build. Not walls of stone, but bridges of light. Each act of faith, each word shared, becomes another brick in heaven's invisible city of hope. So, if this message has become light for you, let it continue its journey. Like this message as a way of saying, I carry this peace within me. Share it as a symbolic act of breaking darkness with light. Like opening a window in a long-closed room. Subscribe so that the next whisper from heaven finds you where you are. And if your spirit feels led, give. As rivers, give to the sea quietly, freely, because overflow is their nature. Your donation is not a transaction, it's participation in heaven's circulation of grace. You're not funding words, you're watering seeds. Somewhere, a heart you'll never meet will bloom because you chose to keep the current flowing. Each simple gesture, your like, your share. Your generosity becomes another lantern lit along the path of someone walking through their own night. None of this is asked by force, it is invitation. Gratitude is the language of heaven, and when you act from it, heaven always responds with increase. Finally, comment below the words, "Light continues." Let it be your vow that the flame will not end with you. You are not commanded, you are invited to let grace flow forward through your hands, just as it once flowed toward you. And as this message travels further, remember, it isn't leaving you, it's expanding through you. The flame stays, the peace remains, and the story continues. And as your light moves beyond this moment, heaven will remember the night you first chose stillness. That choice became a doorway, not only for you, but for many who will one day follow your footsteps through silence into peace. Every ripple you create with kindness will return in waves of grace. The unseen hands you've strengthened, the hidden hearts you've touched, heaven records them all. Nothing given in love ever disappears. It becomes the fragrance that lingers long after you've passed by. So, walk on softly, with the calm of one who knows their path is lit. The light doesn't end here, it continues in you, through you, and far beyond you. The story isn't over, it's only beginning to glow. The morning after transformation is always quiet. The world wakes as it always does, the same sky, the same sounds, but for you, everything feels different. It's not the kind of difference that others can see. It's the kind you carry deep inside, like a soft hum of awareness that never fades. Heaven has written something into your spirit, and now you live as one who knows the language of silence. When you step outside, you notice the air itself seems to greet you differently. The wind brushes your face, not as a stranger, but as a reminder. It whispers, You have crossed over. You may not be able to explain it, but peace has taken root in your bones. The world is still loud, but its noise no longer commands you. You have become fluent in stillness. There is a maturity that comes only after meeting heaven in solitude. You no longer rush to fix, to prove, or to be understood. You simply are. That simplicity becomes your strength, where others search for signs. You listen for rhythm, where others panic at uncertainty. You wait for timing. That is how heaven teaches patience, by replacing reaction with revelation. In the days that follow, you'll notice heaven speaking through the ordinary, not through visions or voices, but through the steady choreography of daily life. A delay that protects you from harm, a chance encounter that carries purpose, a door that closes because the wrong hallway leads away from destiny. Once, these things would have frustrated you. Now, they make you smile. You recognize the author's handwriting in every detail. It is here, in the aftermath of obedience, that clarity deepens. What began as isolation has become intimacy. You understand now that heaven never wanted your performance, it wanted your presence. All along, God wasn't asking you to do more, He was inviting you to be more. There's a beauty in living quietly but powerfully, like a lantern burning steadily in the background while others rush past. You don't need to shout light when you are light. And that is what you've become, a living flame that reminds others there is warmth beyond their weariness. Your strength now lies not in striving, but in staying. You have learned to dwell, to breathe, to let peace lead. Every step you take carries the fragrance of the night you obeyed. The silence taught you something no sermon could, that heaven doesn't always need sound to speak. It needs stillness to stay. This phase of your journey is about integration. Heaven doesn't separate you from the world forever. It sends you back, carrying what the world has forgotten. You are returning as an echo of that night, as a reminder that stillness still heals, that faith still anchors, that peace still reigns. Think of how Moses descended the mountain, carrying commandments carved by divine fire. He didn't return louder, he returned radiant. His face reflected where he had been. That is what heaven is doing with you. It's placing reflection on you, a quiet glory that no chaos can steal. As written in the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 21, "May He keep you with everything good for doing His will, and may He work in us what is pleasing to Him, through Jesus Christ, to whom be glory forever and ever." This verse is more than a blessing, it's a confirmation. Heaven has already equipped you. Everything you will need for what comes next: wisdom, patience, courage, compassion is already within you. What you once begged for, you now embody. So when challenges rise again, and they will remember this, peace is not the absence of storms, but the ability to stand within them untouched. The stillness that once sheltered you is now your armor. The same quiet that healed you will guide you through what's ahead. You no longer have to ask if heaven is near. You carry its evidence. Your voice has softened, but its weight has grown. Your eyes have changed not from tears, but from revelation. You no longer look for signs, you live as one. And as you move forward, the world around you will begin to adjust. The energy of your peace will shift rooms, heal conversations, and silence confusion without a word spoken. Heaven's frequency flows through you now, steady, sure, unstoppable. You are not finished. You are unfolding And the beauty of unfolding is that it never happens all at once. It reveals itself in rhythm, one dawn at a time. The same heaven that met you in solitude will meet you in the movement. You are walking, glowing, and growing into everything silence promised you would become. And as you unfold, the world unfolds with you. Each sunrise feels like a quiet agreement between your soul and heaven's rhythm, promising more, revealing more, asking only that you keep walking softly through the light you've become. Time has passed since that night, but its echo remains. October 30 feels both distant and near. Like a dream you can still feel, even after waking. Life has continued, yet a deeper current now runs beneath every day. You sense heaven not as something that visits, but as something that dwells. It hums quietly beneath your routine, in the small pauses and gentle decisions that shape your new rhythm. This is what destiny feels like, not an explosion, but a slow unveiling. The chosen rarely realize when they cross into purpose. It happens subtly, in the stillness between seasons. You are living that shift now. What once felt like waiting has become walking. What once felt like silence has become song. Heaven's promises do not shout, they unfold. One act of obedience at a time. You begin to see that your purpose was never about reaching something far away. It was about awakening to what was already within. The voice that once guided you through the night now whispers in your daylight choices. Steady and familiar. You no longer pray for signs to appear. You live as one. Your peace has become proof of your faith. Where others rush, you remain. Where others fear, you remember. This is the quiet authority of the chosen, walking with certainty that doesn't need to be seen to be real. In the days since, heaven has been building something invisible around you, a shield of grace, a pattern of purpose. You may not notice it daily, but its evidence shows in the small miracles that weave through your steps, the delay that became direction, the disappointment that led to redirection, the closed door that became a corridor to greater things. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Everything was preparation. And now, that preparation becomes commission. Heaven didn't call you into solitude to keep you hidden. It called you to train your hearing. The same stillness that once isolated you will now distinguish you. Others will sense your peace and not understand it, but they'll know it's real. You are not meant to convince them, you are meant to embody it. Purpose, at its purest, is not about doing, it's about becoming. Heaven didn't choose you for noise or notoriety, but for nearness. You are meant to live as proof that God still walks with those who listen. Your obedience has already begun to write a new story in the lives around you, one of patience, trust, and quiet transformation. As you move through this new chapter, you'll find that the same peace that anchored you will now lead you. It will draw opportunities not by force, but by resonance. The right doors will open because you vibrate at the frequency of obedience. The right people will find you because your spirit carries recognition. Heaven always arranges connection for the willing. There will be moments when you look back on that night and realize it was never about protection, it was about preparation for revelation. What heaven whispered in solitude, it will soon declare through your life. You are stepping into visibility, but carrying invisibility's wisdom. We find strength in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. That is not a command, It's a recognition. Heaven is saying, "You've become what you waited for." The light is not arriving, it's already within you. What you once searched for has awakened. The silence was never absence, it was gestation. So, walk forward with steady grace. The world does not need more noise. It needs what you've become, a living reflection of peace that listens deeper than chaos. You carry the echo of that sacred night. And everywhere you go, heaven walks with you. You have learned the secret of stillness, that power is not in movement, but in meaning. Not in control, but in communion. You now know how to live both grounded and guided, human and holy. When you look at the sky tonight, remember, it's the same heaven that spoke to you, the same presence that waited for you, the same light that now lives in you. You are no longer watching for miracles. You are walking as one, and though the world may never understand how a single night at home changed everything, you will always know it was the night you stopped, seeking signs and started shining. The journey no longer asks for proof, it asks for presence. You have become the evidence that heaven still speaks in silence. And stillness still transforms. Walk forward softly. Every step you take carries eternity's echo. You are light remembered, peace embodied, and purpose made visible in motion. And now, as this message comes to rest, you stand at the quiet edge of a circle completed. The journey has folded back into itself, and you have emerged renewed, lighter, wiser, radiant from within. October 30 was never about a single night. It was a doorway to a lifelong conversation with heaven. You have learned to listen between heartbeats, to see with peace, to move with purpose. The light within you is not meant to stay still. Let it travel. Let it find another soul waiting in silence. Like this message, if it has touched something sacred in you, a small gesture that says, "I remember the stillness that changed me." Share it as if you're releasing a paper lantern into the night sky. Its flame may guide someone you'll never meet. Sometimes, the most powerful ministry is a quiet, forward motion of love. Subscribe if your heart longs to stay near the whisper, to remain in the rhythm where words breathe peace, where reminders of heaven meet you just in time. And if your spirit feels stirred, give as rain gives to rivers freely, joyfully, because giving is another way of shining. Your offering doesn't buy light, it multiplies it. Each drop you pour helps this message flow further, turning faith into movement, turning words into shelter. Finally, comment below, "I carry peace." Let it be your closing vow, a gentle promise that what you received will not stay within you, it will walk beside you, speak through you, and rest where your kindness lands. The message may end here, but your echo continues. You are the afterglow, the carried peace, the quiet proof that light never ends, it simply finds new hands to hold it.